So let's move on to image tags. I'm going to hide the HTML just for a second, and we're just going to take a look at this. So our image tag looks as follows. We can tell already that we have an SRC value here and an equal sign, followed by a URL which leads to the image, and then we're setting an arbitrary height here of 100 pixels, and this is what you end up with, the image right here. So the image takes the SRC attribute. I wrote tag there, but it should say attribute, which stands for source. The direct URL as the value tells the program what image to use. So effectively, just like we were talking about, our source is our attribute, our equal sign, and here's our value right here with an attribute of width and an attribute of height with 200 pixels as the values to both. So that's why this image right here, that's the image itself, and then this height thrown on top of it to make it smaller. Let's see if we can change that actually. This is just written here for display on the page, but this is the one that's actually controlling it. So let's make that width, that height, 600 pixels instead. And you see that the picture got taller. And let's bring it back down to 1, make it real small. Now it's tiny, cute. Let's talk about common errors with the source tag. So if you're practicing your attributes that you know that this is an attribute like any other, you look it up, SRC, and you put down the URL. But what URL to use? I'm going to show you 3 errors here. So first I'm going to show you how to do it correctly, and then I'm going to show you errors that pop up. No, actually, let's go through these links. So this link number 1 corresponds to the code in this area, and you can see it does not work. We'll take a look at the HTML next. The link in this one also doesn't work, but the link in this one does. You see they're all 3 different URLs. Take a look down here so you can see the URL preview. We have this long one, slightly shorter, and then this one, which we know is the working one. So let's say you click on the first one. So if you see this puppy image surrounded by this preview, this Google slider, and all these other puppies, and you grab this URL up here and you put this in your SRC tag, that will not work. You need this picture to be isolated. Now this link over here is the direct page where the puppy image is actually being stored. If you take this URL and put it into your SRC value, this will not work either. You need the puppy to be fully isolated. I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second, but just so you know, the Google view and the real page, neither one of these URLs is correct, and it's a common error that people use, and if you try it, you will see this error sign, or worse, nothing at all to let you know you made the error. The only link, the only URL that you can throw in here that will actually produce the image is this one. You need the puppy completely alone. Therefore, this URL will be the exact destination where the puppy is, and it will know to grab the image from this page because there's nothing else to distract it. Now let's say you want to start this from scratch. Find a correct image URL, add the image of your choice, add a p tag underneath with the description of the image. Let's get into this challenge actually, because we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The first thing I want to do is set up my image tag. So we go image, SRC, we use the quotations, and it's self-closing. So this is the first thing I do, the bare bones, the foundation. We have our tag image, img, followed by our attribute source, because we know we need one, and then equals and an empty, nothing in the quotation marks, because that's where my URL is going to go. And now I'm going to go look for a puppy. So here's where the mistakes happen. First thing you do when you type into Google Images is you see all these puppies. You're like, oh man, which one's the one I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick this one because he looks silly. And I'm like, I'm done. Let me grab this URL right here because that's where the puppy is. Let me put this puppy in here. Right? I put in the URL that I wanted, and you can see, boom, error right away. Dang. Okay, so the puppy is here. I see the preview. Let me click on the actual image. Great. So it takes me to where the puppy really lives. I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to put that in. Instead, I'm going to erase this. I'm going to come back to an empty quotation area and I'm going to paste in this URL. See if this works. Just to make sure that so you can see there's definitely two different ones, but it is reloading. Nothing here at all, which is not good. So let's erase this. Here's the trick. You're on puppy. Let's pick a different one. This puppy, right? So you know that if you click it, it takes you to the page, and you know that's wrong. And you know if you take this URL, that doesn't work either. So how can you find a version of this puppy who's by itself? Now, I'm using Opera, which is similar to Chrome. But what you want to do is something along the lines of this. If you right-click, you get this menu. And the one that you want, in my case, is this one. Open image in new tab. This will isolate the image. If you're using Google Chrome, sometimes it'll say something like view image or... Hold on, let's just take a look in the different browsers. We got time. Of course, I don't have Chrome here. Try Firefox. If you right click, view image. So what you want is that isolated view. So in Firefox it'll be view image, but in Chrome or Opera it'll be open image in new tab. And when you do, you'll see something familiar. You'll see an image by itself, and this URL is the one you need. This is the one that will work. Throw that in there. And boom, we got two puppies. And if you know your attributes, you know that SRC is an attribute just like any other. Hit a space, go to width, set the equal sign, empty quotations, put in 200 pixels. Bam, that puppy is smaller. And now we just add a P tag underneath as a description. This is a cute puppy. And there's our challenge complete. Find the correct image URL, so the image displays. Add an image of your choice, boom, and add a P tag underneath the description. Boom. Practice this because it is a common error, but just embrace it, remember it, don't make the same mistake twice, and always track down whether it's a syntactical issue or if you're having trouble with the concept. Because those are two different things to study. Let's move on. List tags, and we're going to end here. After this, we're going to go through the challenges in another video and then the resources. So this is going to be the end of the challenges portion. The final video in this lesson will be all about the challenges and then just a quick overview of the resources and homework that I'm sending out to you. So we are going to make a list, and there's two different kinds. There's an unordered list and there's an ordered list. The only difference is the unordered list comes out as bullet points and the ordered list comes out as numbers. So just note that there's a difference here where the ULs are embedded within the LI. They live inside kind of like a sandwich. And this is going to be the first time that we talk about indentation. And it's important for URLs, but it's really important moving forward. So just think about it like this. The UL is the parent in this situation. And the UL closes down here. And inside of that parent, there is 1, 2, 3 direct children. Direct isn't just one level in. So here is the mom. And here's son number 1, son number 2, and son number 3. And anything that you do to this UL is going to affect these because they are within the same block. So that's just a big high-level concept that we're going to come back to again and again, but just notice that this is the first time that we're doing it. And the indentation matters here, so when you do create this, make sure that you indent once. And don't forget that there's only one UL, but there is a LI for each one of these LIs. And LI stands for list item. So let's actually get down to the challenge and we can understand this a little bit better. Let's make this bigger. Uh-oh. I think we have a problem here with CodePen. Let's see. Oh no, we're good. I gotta fix these. My bad on that one. Okay, so the challenge is create an ordered list of your favorite TV shows. Now, ordered list is OL. So we're going to create an OL followed by a closing OL, just like we always do. And we're going to give 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces inside to have room to work. We don't see anything yet, that's fine. And now we're going to create a list item, open and close, and I'm going to write 3 of them. 3. This is the correct structure. This puts us in good shape. I'm going to give a little bit of, oh snap. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room here because there's a bit of a bug with CodePen. Ignore this. I'm pretty much just fixing the look since our CodePen is acting a little weird. But the point is the same. We have an OL, and then that wraps the whole list. The OL is the whole list. And then inside of the OL, before the closing tag, we have a list item, a list item, and a list item. And now we can put these values. So I'll put The Wire, The Sopranos, and then my new favorite, Dark on Netflix. And we can see 1, 2, 3. Ordered list, OL, with 3 list items inside. Notice we didn't put the 1, the 2, and the 3, and they're still there. And now we are going to create a unordered list. Same thing with a closing, but it's UL this time. And inside 3 list items, which is the same. List items is the same for both. And the challenge is to create an unordered list of your favorite items of clothing. Oh, this is being really weird. It's my bad. 1 second. Same parent-child relationship, just different values this time. And shirt. Pants, kind of a weird question, but it's cool. And hat, whatever. We'll see that now it's the same, except it's unordered, so it's just bullet points. We see we didn't add the bullets, but there they are. And that's it for the tags. Just keep in mind that you're putting these 3 LIs inside of one OL, or in this case a UL, and that they are direct children of the parent. Let me show you. About to do some CSS. Don't mind this. We're going to be doing a lot of this in the next lesson. But if we open up a style tag and we say, hey computer, take all the OLs on the page and add a border that's solid red and 1px around only the OLs. So what are we going to see? Only on this one will we see a red border, because it's going to look throughout the whole page for ordered lists. Oh, I might find some up there actually, and add a border red to it. So as we look down, see the example one up here, but as well as the one we created, the ordered list. Change the unordered, and you see that it not only affects the list items, but the whole list in general. There's a distinction between the UL and LIs. For example, if we say make all the LIs have a red border, now this is going to affect all the LIs on all of the lists. And there we see the distinction. These are LIs. When the whole thing before, if I show you here, if I recreate my UL, see that the whole list is the UL, and then the individual LIs here in red are 1, 2, 3. So they're children, they're within the same family. Get that in your head, store it away. We're going to come back to it. I'll see you in the next one.